Okay, hi. This is Sam Gaylord, and I'm managing partner of the law firm of Gaylord Pop in Trenton, New Jersey. I'm here today to provide the third installment of a how-to series that I'm conducting regarding workers' compensation benefits, Social Security disability benefits, disability pension appeal benefits in the state of New Jersey. Earlier, we had discussed in some videos what someone's benefits are when they are involved in a work related injury. When someone gets injured, by law, they are entitled to receive medical treatment that's provided by the workers' compensation carrier. They are entitled to receive temporary disability benefits, which would wind up being 70% of someone's gross weekly wage, or they're entitled to receive an award for their injury. Well, tonight, what I'm going to do is provide how to understand the awards that are granted in New Jersey workers' compensation claims, and where someone can look this up and determine their values of their particular injuries. The New Jersey Workers' Compensation statute, the law of workers' compensation, can be found in the New Jersey statute annotated 34:15-1, and that goes all the way to the end of the statute for workers' comp. Specifically, and what we've done here already today is to establish where we are. This is the New Jersey Division of Workers' Compensation website, and if you go to the website and go to forms, one of the sections is the actual statute, and if you scroll to section 12, it describes what benefits someone would be entitled to receive when they're injured and out of work, which is 70% of their gross weekly wage right here. And that would potentially be able to be paid up to 400 weeks of benefits. In addition, when someone is considered totally disabled, they are entitled to payments for 450 weeks, and then if there's a determination that they are still disabled at that point, benefits which would pay them for the rest of their lives. But tonight, what I want to work on is this last section, which is an award that's partial in character, yet permanent in quality. So what that means is, an example is if you are working and you are injured and, for example, you sustain a fracture to your hand, um, and you would be entitled to receive medical treatment. The workers' comp insurance carrier would send you to an orthopedic physician, and then if you had to be out of work, you would be paid, and then you would be entitled to receive an award for your injury. Now, a fractured hand more than likely is going to heal. So you'd say, okay, well, how is that permanent? And it's going to heal, and I'm going to be able to do everything that I would be able to do beforehand. Although that's true, if you can demonstrate that there's some functional restriction in your hand, and by definition, the fracture, although it'll heal, will never exactly be the way it was before your injury, because the bone, although they'll heal, won't exactly be the way it was before the fracture. So, in that scenario, what one would do is look at this. This is the schedule of disability and benefits. This is what we would refer to in workers' comp as the chart. There is the chart for each year. You can find it on the website. This is for example, this is the division. Here we go. The State of New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development. This is their website. You'd go to workers' compensation and rates and statistics, and then scheduled of disability, which is the rate charts. You could see that on the website it has from 2002 all the way to 2013, and so I'm just going to go to 2013 for now. And let's try and get that a little bit bigger. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, what workers' compensation does is it sort of divides an injured worker's body into pieces and parts: hand, arm, thumb, fingers, leg, foot, toe, eye, ear, ears, plural, and then what's called partial total. Now, the partial total column includes such body parts as neck, low back, a shoulder, um, psychiatric disability, things of that nature. Something that's partial, and by total, it's part of the total person and not necessarily a particular piece. Hence, the value of those claims are more valuable. But as an example, and to go sort of back to my hand example, what happens is when someone completes their authorized medical treatment, their attorney will acquire from the workers' compensation carrier the medical records. Once all of the medical records are received, then the attorney for the insurance company and the attorney for the injured worker will have the person evaluated by their respective experts. What happens is the expert for the petitioner will indicate that the percentage of disability is higher on the scale, or a higher percentage of disability, rather, for example, 40% of disability, and the doctor for the workers' comp insurance carrier would indicate that the person has a 5% disability, as an example. So what you would do if the accident occurred in 2013, you go to the year of the accident. And each year has a different rate because each year is based on the state average weekly wage, which each year goes up. So you have to go to the year of the accident, that's first, and then you go to the particular body part. And again, in my example, we're looking at the hand column. Now, as you can see, these are percentages of disability. So let's say in my example, if the expert doctor said it was 5% of disability of the hand, that would entitle somebody to $2,695. The top number up here represents what are called weeks of disability. So as an example, in 2013, if someone had a 5% disability to their hand, they would be entitled to 12.25 weeks at the dollar rate of $220 per week for a gross award of $2,695. Now, as I gave you in my example, the 40%, let's say, from the petitioner's doctor would represent 98 weeks of payments, and you would divide the 98 weeks into $22,660 to equal what the per week benefit would be. Why is that important? Well, that's important because of how these get paid. What happens is when an injured worker finishes receiving treatment and or is out of work, from the time that they last received that temporary disability benefit, weeks start to accrue. And what I mean by that is if you finish your medical treatment on March 1st of 2013 and your case settles March 1st, 2014, then you have 52 weeks which have accrued. Now, if you go to 5% of disability in the hand, 12.25 weeks, well, that's all accrued, which means you would receive the entire award in one lump sum. If you go to the 40%, 98 weeks of benefits, well, only 52 weeks had accrued between March 1st of 2013 and March 1st, 2014. So what would be accrued or what would be paid in a lump sum would be 52 weeks of the payments to equal whatever that would equal, minus the petitioner's share of costs and fees. Now, the advantage in a workers' compensation claim is that an individual is granted the right to reopen their case if the condition gets worse. So the payout of the balance of the weeks in our 40% here would continue beyond that 1 year. So it would go for another 46 weeks of payments, almost another full year. And what workers' comp says is that you have 2 years from the time that you are sent the last payment. So if you receive a lump sum and then you receive 46 weeks of payments, your 2-year statute of limitations in order to reopen your case will not start to run until you receive the final payment. So what this does is it extends the statute of limitations. It's a bonus or an advantage for the injured worker. Now, getting back to what would happen here. So now, the respondent's doctor says 5. Your doctor says 40, you're looking at the hand column. And typically what happens is there would be a conference. Your attorney would go into chambers with the respondent's attorney, and they would have a conference with the judge of compensation. They would go back and forth, and either the petitioner's attorney would make a demand, the judge would review the paperwork, the judge could provide his or her input, and or the respondent may just simply make an offer. And typically with a fractured hand, no other issues, with let's say 5% of disability and 40% of disability, the case might resolve for 20% of disability to the hand. This would then entitle someone to a gross award of $10,780, which would be paid out at $49 per 49 weeks, which would be paid at a dollar rate for that entire period. And again, going with my example, that March 1st of 2013 to March 1st, 2014, the entire award would be accrued, and so someone would receive, in this example, the entire payment in one lump sum. And again, what you want to be looking at is the particular body part. Now, one of the important things, and one of the last points that I'll make here today, is that a hand case in New Jersey is anything that comes from below the elbow to the bottom of the hand. So, for example, if you broke your forearm, it would actually still be considered a hand case. Anything from the elbow to below the shoulder is considered an arm, and then anything the shoulder is considered under this column of partial total. Same goes with your leg, feet, and that works. That anything below the knee is considered a foot, anything from the knee to the hip is considered a leg, and then the hip is considered in the partial total column. I hope that this video has provided some insight into how an award in workers' compensation is calculated, and also just to get an understanding of the way in which the calculations are configured based on the particular body parts. Certainly, if you have any additional questions, I invite you to visit our website at www.gaylordpop.com, or you can call the office at 609-771-8611. Again, the website that I used is the New Jersey Division of Workers' Compensation website, and I will try and attach that to this video for your reference as well. Again, if you've enjoyed this, I ask that you make comments and either forward this on to your Facebook or Twitter accounts. Again, thank you, and we'll see you next week.